Okay, this is a whole lot of love from Led Zeppelin 2. Um, it's there's essentially just parts of it, meaning that it kicks in, the song kicks in, la 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 da, da, da. Um, the tendencies I've noticed for a lot of people is to over bizify the bass drum parts in there, but I think the gist of it is that it goes so. Not. I think the first half of it is so. And there's actually is a part in there you actually hear him go once or twice in there. So that's the riff. That's in the main part of the song. But then you go. There's not a lot of crashes in those parts until the song goes on later. It's not like. It's kind of coming later, and as they build in toward the middle of the song, you get the. Point being is that once it builds up into the middle, that's when he starts bringing on the crashes and the snares. And then, of course, you get into the. Which is cool. From what I understand from the recording is they actually they inserted that middle. With the effects and the theremin and all that other stuff. So essentially, but of course, like the metronome or the thing keeping it going was the hi-hat, which I understood. I don't remember where I heard this from, but I do know that I did read in a couple spots that it was inserted. But I think that Bonham sat there. There's a loop essentially of his hi-hat just keeping time. Whether or not he sat there for 4 minutes and did it, and they took like 8 seconds and just laid it out in a machine, and suddenly he had like a loop of it, And then they just kind of did everything to that. Well, let's imagine that Bonham does it for 4 minutes. So you're like. And to me, totally, I'm a huge Peisty guy, and you can totally hear B8L all over that recording. Technically, this, of course, is B12. It's a sound formula, but you know what I mean. The Zildjian bells don't sound like that. They have a different sort of belly sound to them. Anyway, that's a quick aside to a total geek. So anyway, as we're going, I forget how we done that. Yeah, I guess it's like that, right? There's a couple of those thrown in there. Technically speaking, I really do think I'm doing my best to play it through there. It requires a lot of practice, but from what I do understand, that is just essentially like the loop on the hi-hat going. So essentially, in the studio, that was going on in his head, and he just went. Let's assume, and then Okay, like I said, I don't think he actually did that in real time. It can be done. I mean, you could probably sit and practice it. But again, I really do, don't beat yourself up. I'm not beating myself up over it. I don't know if I spent maybe 19 years working on it, I'd get it. But anyway, really though, like when you see it in the live version, he just, the live version to me in the song seems a little lame, but it still does rock pretty good. There's certain parts of it, like the, it sounds a little thin. I think John Paul Jones missed the string or two a couple times. So, and of course, in typical Bonham of that era fashion, there's a lot of. That's not exact, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of the. There's a lot of the triplet fills all the way around the kit, which is really cool. And there's cool effect. There's a lot of effects on that song. In fact, you see me when I play it, I go. I'm meaning my left hand because there's a real that song actually has sort of like a 16th notey feel to it. Now, part of that could be ascribed to maybe the delays they were using, or the echoes, or the Fairchild limiter, or whatever. But when I play it, I just go. Variations, but generally speaking, when I listen to it, 90% of the time is. Okay, and that's essentially it. That's the tune. I mean, it's not, of course, easy to play. I mean, clearly, but that's it. It's a great tune.